Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. The subject of the discourse today is destiny is made. It is not decided by somebody else. The creator of destiny is human conduct, the way human beings behave, the way they think, the way they talk, the way they act. Human conduct creates human destiny. The Dhammapada, the first few verses of the Dhammapada are pregnant with wisdom about how destiny is created. I will read those gathas, and then on that we shall proceed on the theme of destiny versus predestination or fate. Mind precedes all mental states. Mind is their chief. They are all mind-wrought. All mental states and the conduct following from it are mind-wrought. If with an impure mind a person speaks or acts, suffering follows him like the wheel that follows the foot of the ox. Mind precedes all mental states. Mind is their chief. Mental states are all mind-made, and the conduct following from the mental states are therefore all mind-wrought. If with a pure mind a person speaks or acts, happiness follows him like his never-departing shadow. The example given is very telling indeed. Never-departing shadow. So, happiness becomes a shadow when the mind is pure and good. And what follows from a pure mind? Conduct and belief. We'll continue with this theme as we proceed. Now, these are words of the Buddha, surcharged with wisdom and nobility. I will read a few more. He abused me, he struck me, he overpowered me, he robbed me. Those who harbor such thoughts do not steal their hatred. He abused me, he struck me, he overpowered me, he robbed me. Those who do not harbor such thoughts still their hatred. Hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By non-hatred alone is hatred appeased. This is a law eternal. Sanantano Dhammo. This is an eternal truth, eternal law, that hatred never ceases through hatred. Only through love, only through the peaceful approach of amity, not the approach of revenge and hatred. Today, somehow I felt like hearing the media, the BBC was blaring, so I thought of listening to what they say. BBC say, the reporter said that they have counted the damage that has occurred in Pakistan due to the violence and the atmosphere of hatred that pervades in that unfortunate part of the world. This kind of carnage and destruction of property and life occurs because of massive hatred. Hatred everywhere, where masses of people, not merely communities, are engaged in tyranny and hatred. And this happens because the belief that violence alone solves the problems. Of all form of violence, mental violence is the worst. It's only due to mental violence that physical and verbal violence occur. And so all the hatred, the carnage, the destruction, the conflict, suffering all over in this part of the world is caused by one thing alone, the belief that violence will solve. Belief in violence creates violence, begets violence. So the Buddha, in his all-knowing wisdom, says, it is not through hatred that hatred ceases, only through love, through metta, universal love, through the peaceful approach of friendliness and goodwill, that hatred can be appeased, can be stilled. Now, this is an eternal message, but human beings do not learn from eternal truth. They only learn from suffering. And why all this killing and misery that is going on all over? Due to the belief in hatred, or rather violence. It is because when people believe in taking revenge, badalao, tit for tat, it is this belief in revenge and vengeful thinking that brings all the destruction. Now nobody is immune from this destruction. Nobody knows what is going to happen in this area of the world. Some mad man out of hatred and vengeful thinking may do something horrible that hundreds and thousands of people, innocent people, men and women, children, old men, they will die. Their life, all their, thoughts of future, all their dreams of happiness, all that will be lost. Just out of this belief in vengefulness, revenge and hatred. Yet hatred can only prolong more hatred and bring more destruction and bring more suffering. So, a serious person, in the sense a person who wants to create a destiny that is positive, that is filled with happiness, not with misery. For such a person, it is absolutely important that destiny is created not by belief in predestination. Destiny refers to both present and the future. Now there are people who believe that all this violence and all that killing and all that has been willed by some god or some supernormal beings, that they're predestined, it's fate, that they're fated to die like this. They're fated that such tremendous destruction and disturbance and conflict should continue. It has been willed. No. Nothing can be more misplaced than this kind of belief. There is no such thing as predestination, my dears. There is only destination created by our present conduct, our actions and our belief. If we believe that by peaceful means all problems can be solved, then there need not be a war, there need not be conflict, there need not be suffering and destruction. So ultimately the whole thing boils down to what we believe in. Whether we believe in peaceful ways, peaceful way of solving problems, or the violent way of solving problems. Man has created, rather acquired, immense knowledge. There is knowledge explosion. And this knowledge explosion is creating so much of violence and destruction and all that. So we have to be very, very careful. We must have no doubt that it is not due to knowledge that happiness that we enjoy, or we enjoy happiness and security. No. It is due to something else, not knowledge. Not by acquiring and accumulating information and knowledge and all that, no. But by virtue. It is virtue that brings peace, that brings happiness ultimately. And metta is the virtue of virtues. And metta means belief in the peaceful ways of amity, friendliness and goodwill. And metta can create a destiny here and now as well as hereafter, which no amount of knowledge can create. Imagine a person who believes in creating his own destiny, in the sense that his own present life can be, managed in such a way that it will bring nothing but happiness and peace. And similarly, the future can be created by managing the present life in such a way that the future too will become, destiny will become a destiny of happiness and peace. So whether our present life or the future life, the destiny of the present life or the future depends very much on how we manage life. And managing life again depends upon how we believe, what kind, and the action that follows from the belief. If we believe in peaceful ways, if we believe that the path of metta is the best path, is the most secure path, not the path of destruction and hatred, then our destiny is bound to be good now and bound to be good in future. Now, if we analyze in a practical way, let us examine how the destiny now can be very beautiful and filled with happiness, and the destiny in future therefore also could be similar. If we believe in that, and let's analyze now. For instance, here is a man who does not kill. It is said that there are 10 types of actions that determine our future rebirth, that is, our future destiny. and also determines our present destiny. For the happiness and peace that we enjoy in the present, that will also be determined by these tenfold actions. They are known as Kamma Patha, the course of action that creates destiny, now and here in future. These 10 are whether you believe in killing or the opposite of it, non-killing. Whether you believe in violence or in non-violence. Whether you believe in stealing, in robbing things and in misappropriation, or in giving, charity, generosity. Whether you believe in sexual misconduct or indulging in immoral act, and then invite HIV and all such horrible diseases which our forefathers never knew. Even we did not know these horrible diseases, but they have been created by sexual misconduct. If we believe in it and we do it, or whether we don't believe in it and we never do that, we abstain from it. Whether we believe in lying or we believe in being truthful. Whether we believe in carrying tales and backbiting, talking about others and bringing discord in both between people, carry the tales from here to there and create hatred, create disharmony. Or we believe in not creating, not carrying tales, but be controlled in what we say. Only if we say it is to generate goodwill between people, not hatred between people. Or if we believe, for instance, in harsh language, abuse, and bring suffering to others, or the opposite of it. We believe in sweet words, in gentle words, in being soft and gentle and kind in speech. Similarly, whether we believe in gossiping and talking nonsense, reading newspaper, all kinds of things, and filling the head with dirt and filthy thoughts, or we believe in wise way of talking, not gossiping, but promoting wisdom, goodwill by our talks. Whether we believe in violence or in morality, immorality and so on. So this thinking creates belief. Thinking in grabbing or thinking in giving. Thinking in hating or thinking in loving. These are the things that create our destiny, present destiny as well as future destiny. These tenfold actions determine our destiny now and later. So, if a person were to manage his belief or her belief system in a wise manner, instead of killing, why not save life? Instead of bringing violence, why not believe in non-violence? It's very clear that violence brings destruction and suffering. So why not cultivate a belief and a thought and a conduct that is based upon non-violence, upon loving kindness, upon the peaceful approach of goodwill. So this it depends upon how we believe. So if we manage our belief cultivate the positive type of conduct. Not killing, but saving life. Promote the well-being of life. If you are a metta practicing person, you'll be very careful about how you act, how you think, how you believe. You will consciously and deliberately, promote the happiness of others, not the suffering of others. You will say, well, just as I seek happiness and peace, may I also promote the happiness and peace of others. This is metta. Consciously and deliberately promoting the happiness and peace of others. Now this has to be done day in and day out, throughout the life. As we cultivate this kind of thinking, this kind of belief that we must save rather than destroy, save life rather than destroy life. We should give dana rather than grab and take things of others. We should practice control, be loyal to our, if it is household life, be loyal to your partner, loyal to your family, loyal to your family values. Then you will not, you'll be free from any such diseases or all the trouble that come from immoral life. So management of life depends upon your own will, the way you think and believe, and the will to do the opposite of what is bad and wrong. So the Panchashila Buddha gave as a panacea to humanity. If these shilas are followed, all the 10 courses of action that determines our destiny here and now and hereafter, all that will automatically get set right. The importance of Panchashila can never be overemphasized. Every seeker of truth and enlightenment should understand that. We create our destiny by our own conduct, by our own belief system. Therefore, the question of our lives are predestined and we are fated and all that sort of thing is simply a wishful thinking. Nobody creates our destiny. If we are suffering now, we are paying the price of how we conducted ourselves in the past. No use blaming somebody else because of our misery now. Our misery is very much created by our actions of the past, in this life and in the previous lives. Make no mistake about it. So no use blaming somebody or the society or a person or a God or anybody for that matter. Blame nobody, not even yourself. The blame game never solves the problem. It arises from hate. It arises from negative thinking. Instead, take to the positive way of thinking, of conducting yourself, of having the positive belief that instead of killing, save life. Instead of stealing, give. That is more satisfying than stealing and grabbing. All the corruption in the country will simply vanish if people believe in this. People do not believe in dana. That is why there is so much of corruption, so much of greed, because they don't know the power of dana. The dana has massive power. Even today, right in front of you, you see people who are born in a rich family and enjoy all the good things of life. And there are people who suffer, born in a slum, and the parents are working as coolies. Children are all roaming about in the street, fighting and doing all kinds of horrible things, no education, nothing. Now all these things happen why? Not the will of any God. It is the creation of humanity. Human beings lacking, you see, the generosity. Now those who don't suffer from poverty and all that, they think, they are immune, so it doesn't matter, let the others suffer, why do I care? No. Once you believe that dana is a supreme weapon to fight against insecurity and poverty, then you must promote dana by practicing dana. And make people, convince people that by stinginess and meanness one does not become rich and one does not prosper. Only by being generous and noble one prospers. You go to some of these countries where people don't suffer from poverty at all. Why? There must be some reason. All the belief in religion and rituals and all that sort of ceremonies and all the adambara, the externals, they don't lead to prosperity. Prosperity comes from a generous heart, from practicing dana. I have seen in countries which are supposed to be very materialistic, let's say the Western countries, but you will be surprised how people believe in charity. Now, I heard from a person who came recently, only yesterday he was telling me, he came from in Switzerland. He said, Bhante, you see, I had a friend, they were celebrating this Christmas, the birth of Christ, and they thought they also believe in Buddhism. They practice meditation and everything. But they also join with others in the celebration. Out of goodwill, out of metta, may everybody be happy. Now at least during this season they do a lot of charity, lot of, you see, dana. So he says, there is a family, the grandmother is about your age, he said, about 80 odd or 90. Now she still goes on working, she makes socks, warm socks, sells them during this season, and that money gives in charity so that some institution looking after the children. Now our institution in Mysore and elsewhere, we receive a lot of these donations from them. They say, you see, for your children, you have got 200 children getting free education, food and everything in Mysore. Here you are. My socks are, I am selling the socks for them. The money I get goes to them. Then seeing that, the mother, that is the daughter of this old lady, she too does something. She has organized some kind of a bazaar. She has created all kinds of artistic things, and then she sold them in this bazaar. And that money comes, you see, for the education of these poor children. For instance, Arunachal, there are nearly 200 or 300 children who are getting free education in our schools and hostels. Now where do the money come from? Not from the Indians. No. They come from outside. And we should be ashamed of that. So now those people, now this lady organizing a bazaar and sending this money here. Then the children, there are 4 or 5 children in that family, the girls and boys, they have also done something. They have created some kind of artistic stuff, and they have sold those, and that money goes for this charity. So this gentleman said, this is how we practice dana. We work for it. Now a man who goes, he is not, he is not very rich at all. He works day to day and earns his living. So he has gone and taken a big field, grass cutting. So he cut grass for 3 days and he earned some 500 francs. And he sent the 500 francs here for the maintenance of these children. And we are boasting so much of our culture, our religion, and our whatnot. When it comes to spending little money for a poverty alleviation program, no, nothing comes. So here you are. We have to now really think deeply how we could, manage our lives in a more positive way. How our belief system can become more positive. How our actions arising from the belief system can become more positive. So, we believe in karma and rebirth. Well, if we do believe in rebirth, that means we believe in destination, not predestination, not fate. We create our destination by our present actions, by our present karma. So why not manage the present karma in a very positive way? Why be mean? Why be casteist? Do everything only for the caste. Why? Why not for everybody? The Swiss children never thought of caste, never thought of that they belong to Brahmin or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra or scheduled caste or this or that. They just thought of human beings. So my dear, this is the teaching of Buddhism. Go beyond caste. Go beyond meanness. Go beyond violence and the belief in violence. Believe in a moral life, Panchashila, and your life will be wonderful now and wonderful in future. May the grace of Lord Buddha surround your lives. May you all be enabled to live the path of metta, walk on the path of metta, live the life of metta. Nothing is greater than metta, universal love, path, the peaceful path of goodwill and amity. May you all be happy.